Hi, I am your sheriff for Arundel County, and let me tell you, it's a joy and a pleasure to serve you, the citizens of this great fine place. This is our first show, our introductory show, and what I want to talk to you about is some of the things that we've been able to accomplish. We worked hard on our first budget, a budget that's fiscally responsible, but also equips us with our needs and desires to provide you with an excellent service. We've asked for additional vehicles. I've also asked for a larger command staff because in today's time, we know that supervision is very important in law enforcement. With that being said, we were able to create 2 new captains positions for a total of 4. We're also going to be promoting 3 lieutenants and possibly 5 sergeants. Now, being fiscally responsible, I only had to go to the county to request 1 additional supervisory position. How am I able to do that? Because one of the things I did was I cut out some of the so-called fat in our budget, things that I did not think we need. And I was able to create these positions. So when I was campaigning, I listened to what the community had to say. I listened to the citizens, and they wanted a more involved office of the sheriff. So that's what we're giving them. We're giving them internship programs for kids can come in and learn some things and actually be prepared for life. We still have our cadet program. This is a program that's been installed in the sheriff's office over numerous years, where if a kid comes in and they're interested in law enforcement, they can join at the age of 18 and then they age out at the age of 21, and hopefully they decide to go into law enforcement. It does not have to be with the office of the sheriff. It can be with the county police. It can be federal. It can be anywhere. Our main goal is to keep our young people engaged and give them positive alternatives. Another thing that the county residents wanted, they wanted accountability. They wanted to make sure that things like that happened in Memphis with officers there or some of these other jurisdictions does not happen here. So that's what we're giving them. We have created our first Office of Professional Compliance. And in this office, most of you may know it as an internal affairs. Yes, we're going to investigate complaints. That's what we're going to do. But we're also going to be proactive. We're going to make sure that our deputies are out there doing what they're supposed to do. We're going to make sure that they're following the rules and guidelines and doing things properly, the way that they were trained. We're more engaged with the community. We're also working with the Lighthouse Shelter. Just the other week, we had a program where we had people come in and they donated supplies, toiletries, clothing items, even toys that will be given to the Lighthouse Shelter, and also other community groups across the county as well. One of the things I realized quickly is that a lot of people in the county and even county government really doesn't have an understanding of what the Office of the Sheriff does. So prior to submitting my budget, I brought everybody in for a tour. I brought the county council through, I brought the county executive through. They were able to see exactly what the Office of the Sheriff does, including at the courthouse, down in lockup, how we man the courtrooms. They got to see the workings underneath of the courthouse that I like to say. They were very impressed. They said, "Everett, this is new to us." I said, "Well, that's the whole idea here. I want you to see the value, the worth of the men and women who actually perform the job here." We took a tour of our other facility also, our Field Operations Bureau. There they were able to see all the paperwork, all the civil process that has to come in, that comes in and has to be served. And they saw firsthand actually what our staffing levels look like compared to the work that we get. Now, one of the things that I asked them for is I said, look, I understand cars is a big issue for each deputy to have a car, but a car is just like the weapon. The car is just like the vest. It has to be assigned when somebody is hired. The car for a deputy is a necessary tool. We have to be able to get there to handle the issues that take place in the county. Prime example, that tragic day when a gunman stormed a Capital Gazette newspaper office and took a number of lives there. A lot of people don't realize this, but the first law enforcement that was on the scene was the Anne Arundel County Sheriff's Office. We were the first ones there, the first ones through the door that were able to make apprehension and also get victims out to safety. That's why we need these vehicles. My first few days in office, I saw it firsthand. While I'm standing there talking to deputies in our Field Operations Bureau, and something comes across the radio. And what is it? A prisoner had escaped from the detention center on Jennifer Road. Deputies left the scene, left quickly as possible. They were able to get on the scene and make apprehension of that individual. That individual was in a civilian person's car. Who knows what may have happened if the deputies didn't get there? So that's what I stress to the county council and the county executive. We need these vehicles to ensure that we provide adequate protection for the citizens of Anne Arundel County. So the tours that we created were not just for county officials, elected officials. We wanted the citizens to see what we do also. So I brought the NAACP through, the United Black Clergy, the Caucus of African American Leaders, and some other groups. Because I look at it like this, these are our stakeholders. The people that I brought through are our stakeholders. And I shouldn't be bringing them through when times go bad. They need to see exactly what we do before we even get to that point. Hopefully never. They can have an unbiased look on the inside of everything that goes on, how we handle prisoners, how they're detained, how they're treated. And now, if they have issues or concerns with that, they can bring it to me now. Not when times are heated or charged. I want to know right now. And they were very appreciative. This is the new look Sheriff's Office of Anne Arundel County. We're moving forward. We're being more proactive in dealing with things. We have deputies who are engaging with the community, deputies who are engaging with other agencies. We just signed a memorandum of agreement with Annapolis City Police Department. Now, most of you may have heard in the news that there have been some shootings and things that are going on in Annapolis, and as residents of Annapolis, as custodians of the courthouse right in the center of Annapolis, I feel as though it's our responsibility. We have to take part in this to protect the citizens of Annapolis. So that's what we're doing. We're stepping outside of our comfort zone. Yes, I know. I know there are some people that's going to say, well, this isn't the function of the sheriff. This isn't the job of the sheriff. But most of you don't know, we get our authority from the Maryland Constitution. We're the second oldest law enforcement agency in this state. We were here way before the county police. A lot of the things that the county police do now, that was our responsibility. The only difference now is the county police, they are still the primary law enforcement agency in this county. Yes, they are. There is no doubt about that. But we have a significant role to play too. The more that we do in assisting them, the more that it will free up them to handle some of these other important issues that are going on in the county. As your new sheriff, I take great pride in what I do. I have great pride in the men and women who actually perform the job. This is something that I chose to do. But I want to make sure that I'm providing you with a great service. And as I said earlier, I know some people are going to say, well, this isn't the job of the sheriff. He shouldn't be doing this or he shouldn't be doing that. But I look at it like it's in today's time, I expect all agencies have to step outside of their comfort zone to do things. The fact that we're creating an internship, the big picture is we're taking kids, we're giving them an opportunity, and as I said earlier again, we're giving them a positive choice here. Hey, you can come work for the sheriff's office, you can surround yourself with some dedicated men and women who are professionals in the field of law enforcement. And if something that we teach them or something that we say to them rubs off, and they decide to, when the time comes that they have to make a choice between right and wrong, and they make the right choice, then hey, we did our job. We're attacking crime not only on the back end just by serving warrants, we're attacking crime on the front end. We're trying to be preventive. We're trying to be proactive. Let me also say this, we're doing some things differently here in the sheriff's office. We're not just going to the county with our hands out. We're actually taking them solutions to some of the problems that we may have. Before we ask for anything, we try to do a deep dive to find out, is there something that we can do differently? Is there some way that we can save the county money? And we've been doing that. We've been cutting out positions that I felt as though were not necessary. We've also been going to the state. The state is our partners as well. I've been meeting with different delegates, different senators, to see if they can provide us with funding as well. This is me trying to find other resources to ensure that the office of the sheriff moves smoothly. Thank you for joining me today. Please join me again next month for our second edition of this show, where we tackle some of the important issues. We're going to be talking about evictions. We're going to be talking about serving warrants. We're going to talk about drug use. We're going to talk about all the important things that matter to you and the things that we can have an impact on. So thank you for joining me again, and please do me a favor. Look out for one another and be safe in everything that you do. Thank you.